In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on June 20th, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Seattle Mariners versus Chicago Cubs. The Seattle Mariners, sitting just over the .500 mark at 37-36, are heading to the Windy City to take on the Chicago Cubs, who boast a solid 45-28 record. This matchup kicks off a 3-game interleague series on Friday, setting the stage for a compelling weekend of baseball. The Chicago Cubs get to play host for this series opener at Wrigley Field. The conditions look interesting for the first official day of summer. It's a mild afternoon, but the wind is expected to be blowing out, which always adds a layer of unpredictability. Seattle comes into this game with a distinct advantage, having enjoyed a day off on Thursday. That means their entire roster, especially the bullpen, should be well rested and ready to go. On the other hand, the Cubs are coming off a grueling, high-scoring affair against the Brewers, a tough 8-7 loss where they battled back but ultimately fell short. When you look at the starting pitchers, Seattle seems to have the edge. They're sending George Kirby to the hill, and while he got a delayed start to his season and needed a couple of outings to find his rhythm, he's looking sharper with each appearance. The walks are still a bit high for a guy known for his pinpoint control, but that feels like a temporary issue. Once he dials that in, he's capable of shutting down any lineup. For the Cubs, Matthew Boyd gets the ball, and frankly, he's been a puzzle all year. His 2.79 earned run average looks great on paper, but it just doesn't feel sustainable. Boyd has a tendency to give up the long ball, and with the wind blowing out at Wrigley and Seattle's lineup having an advantage from the left side of the plate, this sets up perfectly for a tough day for him. Given the Mariners' rest advantage, the stronger starting pitcher, and a lineup that matches up well, taking a shot on Seattle's value makes a lot of sense. As our first pick for this matchup, the Seattle Mariners money line is our full game side pick. Looking at the relief pitching, both teams have been solid all season. Seattle's bullpen is right in the middle of the pack, ranked 15th with a respectable 3.75 earned run average. Chicago's relievers, however, have been truly elite, ranking 4th in the league with an impressive 3.15 bullpen earned run average. Despite the conditions that might favor hitters, both offenses have been quiet lately. Over their last 6 games, the Mariners have only managed to push across an average of 4.33 runs, while the Cubs have been even colder, averaging just 3.6 runs in their last 5 contests. History also points to lower scoring games between these two clubs, as the under has successfully hit in 7 of their last 8 meetings. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Texas Rangers versus Pittsburgh Pirates. The Texas Rangers, who are trying to get back to the .500 mark with a 36-38 record, are set to travel for a 3-game interleague series against the struggling Pittsburgh Pirates, who sit at 29-45. This is a brutal scheduling spot for the Pirates. They have to get through a doubleheader on Thursday before immediately traveling back home to host the Rangers on Friday. That kind of grind wears a team down. To make matters worse for Pittsburgh, the Rangers are handing the ball to their ace, Jacob deGrom. The Pirates continue to slide further into the National League Central basement, largely because their offense has been a non-factor. Their power hitters aren't producing, and now they have the daunting task of facing deGrom, who currently owns the 6th best earned run average in all of baseball. Texas is coming off a couple of surprising losses to Kansas City and desperately needs to string together some wins to keep pace in the competitive American League West. The Rangers simply have more talent on their roster, and with the Pirates likely being exhausted and potentially dipping into their bench after a long day of travel and baseball, this is a prime opportunity for Texas. Even though the Rangers haven't been playing their best baseball recently, this is a series they should dominate if they have any serious playoff aspirations. Jacob deGrom has been absolutely absolutely fantastic, sporting a 2.19 earned run average and a minuscule 0.91 WHIP over his last 19 innings on the mound. He's allowed just 11 hits and 3 runs, showing he's in top form. His performance on the road has been just as stellar, with a 2.86 earned run average and opponents hitting a paltry .186 against him in 28.1 innings. The Pirates are just not a good baseball team right now. While their starter, Burrows, is having a solid month, he's still a very hittable pitcher with a 4.24 earned run average and 1.33 WHIP for the season, allowing opposing batters to hit .267 against him. You just can't fade the Rangers when they have a future Hall of Famer on the mound in such a favorable matchup. As our first pick for this matchup, the Texas Rangers money line is our full game side pick. You'd be hard-pressed to find a worse situation for a team than the one the Pirates are in. They're forced to play an extra game in a doubleheader on Thursday because of a previous rainout, and their reward is flying home to immediately face Jacob deGrom. His 2.19 earned run average is backed by 80 strikeouts in just over 82 innings, and he's surrendered only 9 home runs all season. He has been remarkably consistent, having not allowed more than 2 earned runs in any start since way back in early April. It's highly unlikely that streak ends here against the last-place Pirates. On the other side, the Texas offense has been quiet enough recently to feel confident in the under. They scored a combined total of only 4 runs in their first 2 games against the Royals, which suggests they won't run away with this one. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Detroit Tigers versus Tampa Bay Rays. The Detroit Tigers, holding a strong 47-27 record, are looking to extend their lead in the American League as they head on the road this Friday. They'll be at George M. Steinbrenner Field to kick off a 3-game series against the Tampa Bay Rays, who come into the contest with a solid 41-33 record. Recent trends suggest an edge for the home team. The Rays have been playing excellent baseball, winning 5 of their last 6 games, while the Tigers have hit a bit of a snag, losing 3 of their last 5. Tampa Bay should feel confident in this matchup, particularly because their lineup has performed well against right-handed pitching this season. They'll be facing Jack Flaherty, who has looked shaky on the mound recently, surrendering 8 runs over his last 3 starts. Flaherty has also struggled against the Rays in the past, giving up 7 runs in his last 3 appearances against them, so expect Tampa's bats to be ready to do some damage. On the other side of the diamond, Detroit's offense is likely to face a tougher challenge. The Rays are sending Shane Baz to the mound, and he has been dealing in his recent starts. Over his last 3 games, Baz has allowed a total of just 6 runs, proving he's in solid form. In his last 2 starts at home, he's been even tougher, giving up only 4 runs combined. He appears to have the tools to keep the Tigers' lineup in check and prevent them from putting up big numbers. As our first pick for this matchup, the Tampa Bay Rays money line is our full game side pick. When looking at the total, both offenses have shown they can score. The Tigers put up an average of 4.81 runs per game for the season and have been even hotter lately, averaging 5.33 runs over their last 3 contests. They hold a .251 team batting average against right-handers and are facing a pitcher in Baz who has given up 4 runs in his last 2 home appearances. The Rays average 4.58 runs per game on the year but have been on fire, plating an incredible 8 runs per game over their last 3. They bat .248 against righties and get to face Flaherty, who has allowed 3 runs in his last 2 road starts. Despite the recent offensive outputs, the head-to-head trend between these 2 clubs has leaned toward lower scoring affairs, with the under hitting in 2 of their last 3 meetings. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Baltimore Orioles versus New York Yankees. It's a classic American League East rivalry to kick off the weekend as the Baltimore Orioles head into the Bronx to take on the New York Yankees for the first of a 3-game set on Friday night. Even though the Yankees have been in a complete tailspin lately, dropping 6 straight games entering Thursday's play, they are somehow still holding on to the top spot in the division. This is exactly the kind of situation where they need their ace, Fried, to step up and play stopper. He has been phenomenal in his first season wearing the pinstripes, leading the American League in wins while racking up nearly a strikeout per inning. On the other side, the Orioles are sending out Tomoyuki Sugano. While he has been decent, he's still a 35-year-old rookie pitcher trying to navigate the majors. He managed to beat New York back in April at Camden Yards, but the Orioles have been a disaster on the road all season, limping to a 14-22 record away from home. This feels like the perfect spot for the Yankees to finally get their act together. Expect New York's offense to get back on track while Fried completely handcuffs the Orioles Orioles bats to get the Yankees back in the win column. As our first pick for this matchup, the New York Yankees to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. When you look at the trends, the under has been a consistent theme for Baltimore this year, hosting a 34-32-4 record. A big part of that is their lackluster offense, which ranks 24th in the majors by scoring just over 4 runs per game. That number gets even worse when they're on the road, dipping to a mere 3.68 runs per game. Their average road game total sits at a modest 8.5 runs. New York has also been a solid bet for the under, which has hit in 37 of their 69 games this season. While the Yankees boast a top 3 offense that averages over 5 runs a game, they also have excellent pitching that allows just 3.77 runs per game, keeping their average total right around 8.87. At home, they score plenty but also pitch well, with an average game total of 8.86 runs. With Sugano pitching serviceably, the Yankees struggling at the plate recently, and Fried's ability to shut down lineups, this game should have a tough time getting over the total. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Chicago White Sox versus Toronto Blue Jays. This Friday, a struggling Chicago White Sox team, holding a dismal 23-50 record that plants them firmly in the basement of the American League Central, travels north of the border. They're set to kick off a 3-game series in Toronto against the Blue Jays. Chicago comes into this matchup ice cold, riding a 6-game losing streak into their Thursday doubleheader before even thinking about this series. Statistically, they are one of the worst teams in the league, ranking near the bottom in almost every key metric. Their offense is anemic, sitting 28th or worse in 4 separate hitting categories, and their pitching staff isn't much better, ranking 21st or worse across 4 major pitching stats. On the other side, Toronto is a team hitting its stride. The Blue Jays' offense is potent, ranking 5th in batting average and 7th in on-base percentage. Their pitching is more than holding its own, with respectable 13th and 14th place rankings in batting average against and WHIP. The Blue Jays are simply on fire, winning 14 of their last 19 contests and looking nearly unbeatable with 11 victories in their last 12 home games. For Chicago, starter Davis Martin has been part of the problem, getting knocked around in his last 3 starts for 10 runs on 17 hits over 18 innings. Unsurprisingly, the White Sox have lost 4 of the last 5 games he started. The losses just keep stacking up for the White Sox, who have managed a single victory since June 11th. Even when their starter, Davis Martin, manages to put together a decent performance, the team finds a way to lose, dropping 4 of his last 5 outings. Frankly, there's no reason to back this Chicago team. It doesn't matter that Toronto starter, Turnbull, has only thrown 4.1 innings this season. The simple truth is the White Sox are a terrible baseball team, while the Blue Jays have been playing great baseball for over a month and are dominant at home. As our first pick for this matchup, the Toronto Blue Jays to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Recent trends strongly suggest a high-scoring game is on the horizon. The total has gone over in 2 of Chicago's last 3 contests and, more tellingly, in every single one of Toronto's last 3 games. Zooming out, the over has hit in an impressive 14 of the Blue Jays' last 18 matchups. The reasoning is clear when you look at the numbers. Chicago's pitching staff is porous, ranking 23rd in team earned run average and 25th in WHIP. That's a recipe for disaster against a potent Toronto lineup that sits 5th in the league in batting average and 12th in slugging percentage, consistently putting runs on the board. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.